Well, good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time. We're here for the Hawkeye. I'm guessing that Al will be in here momentarily. Got a lot to cover this morning. Had a busy day yesterday. We did some major testing on our new Hawkeye tool that we're building. So excited
Well,
about
good morning,
that.
everybody. It is 6 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning
let me
Central
turn my
Time.
other
We're
volume
here for the
down because
Hawkeye.
I'm
I'm
hearing
guessing that Al will be
double
in here
play here.
momentarily. Got
One
a lot to
second.
cover this morning. Had a busy day yesterday.
That's
We
not
did
what
some
we
major
want. That's my
testing on our
vacation.
new Hawkeye tool that we're building. So excited
Well,
about
that's
that.
not what we
It is
want. Let
six
me
o'clock in the
find
morning
out
Let
where
me
all
turn
that
my
noise
other
is
volume
coming
here for the
from.
Hawkeye. I'm
Hearing
guessing that Al will be
double
in here
play here.
momentarily. Got
One
a lot to
second.
cover this morning. Had a busy day yesterday.
That's
We
not
did
what
some
we
major
want. That's my
testing on our
vacation.
new Hawkeye tool that we're building. So excited
Well,
about
that's
that.
not where that's
It is
coming
six
from. So
o'clock in
hang
the
on
morning.
one
Let me
second,
turn my
guys.
other
Noise is
volume
coming
here for the
from.
Hawkeye. I'm
There
guessing
it is.
that Al will be
Double
in here.
play here. There we go. Sorry about that. Those in the YouTube, we were having double double volume there. So let's just go ahead and go in. Again, good morning. Sorry for the little problem there. This is a Hawkeye session. We've been working on a new tool with Hawkeye. Very rule-based, very mechanical. Having some good results from it already. Kind of hopefully to simplify the morning. So let's go ahead and do our normal routine. I want to make sure that we hit it regular today. I want to make sure I don't complicate it. This is our Hawkeye. Make sure my screens. Here's our radar that we start with every morning. Let me adjust it just momentarily. Looks like I got to do a reset on this. It's not looking quite right with that up there. So let's go ahead and do a reset. It may not reset for me since we're doing some major testing on it as well, but we'll see. Yeah, something must be a little bit wrong with my US yen right now, which probably just tells me I've got a lot of stuff on my page. We'll have to rely on Al for that. But we'll look at our radar and set it up, make sure we have it all ready to go. Looking at it right now, nothing really clear to just jump into at this point. So let's go ahead and look at our news. Forex Factor. Again, this is just an option for you guys. This is not a all-in-one saver here. I would tell you through the testing that we're doing right now, it is important that you have some sort of system that you're using for your news and understanding when it's coming. So today's July 8th. We do have some news in the afternoon. We did have some news come out yesterday. We do have nothing really major during our time together, but we do want to be aware of it. Looking back at yesterday's results, just so we can kind of get an idea what happened, especially the overnight. If you notice, 225, they did decide to increase their rate. So the Kiwi did increase 1/4%. And then they follow these statements. We talked about that in our video, what you want to do with those statements. You want to be able to go back, read them to find out how hawkish were they, how dovish were they. Was it split or were they all decisive about it? If they were all decisive, it kind of gives you a clue of what's going to happen with the Kiwi. So that's a good thing to go back and do and look and see. Now, notice this also gives you down here a great opportunity to figure out where you want to trade at. We like to trade this time from 2 o'clock in the morning Central all the way to 11 in the morning Central as well. That's our window of testing, I should say. We're not usually here that whole entire time, though. So again, we're not training to be on the computer all the time. So here we go, looking again at our radar screen. We have 8 pairs. We have more than 8 pairs that we can trade, just so you guys are understanding. On the right side, you'll see a list of all the pairs that we're allowed to trade. These are based on several criteria, but why they're green? They're green because these pairs usually will stay at very low spreads, very low commissions. They work real well with the strategy that we're using. So these are our main five. Then we have the yellow group of four. Again, these are great pairs, but at times their spreads can get a little bit out of control. And even though the structure is good, remember, we're day trading, so we're not really looking to go too far. And if your first target's 10, just to be able to take profit off, and your spread is at a 1 or more, then you have to actually get 11 or 12 to reach that first target. And when you get stopped out, you don't get full 14, you're getting 13 or 12. So you're squashing your window of profitability and productivity all in one little spread piece. So we want to be very careful with that. Let's go ahead and dive into our dollar again. Looking at a dollar on a 15-minute chart doesn't really give us the weather that we're looking for. It does kind of give you what's coming immediate, but it's not the weather. So we want to back off from the daily. Again, we had a pretty strong dollar day yesterday, and it looks like we're following it up again. We don't know. We're not making predictions. We're just trying, kind of like the weatherman, we're trying to determine what our weather is going to be for the day. We do have room to the upside. We don't have a lot of room, but if you could tell, these two candles, these three candles even, aren't quite all the way to. So if we have kind of a normal day, we could very well be up in here, which is towards our pivot high, and then we're probably going to slow down in that regard. Dropping it down to our 4 hour to give a bit closer look, you can see, do I have fair value? I got fair value gap sitting right at the top. I didn't know I still had that on there, but you can see that yeah, we're overall in a 4 hour kind of in a current downtrend, but we broke that downtrend. So again, we have potential pressure to the upside. And then we go to our 1 hour just to get a little bit closer to our time and see what our hurdles might be to getting that move up. Again, we've had a downturn, and you can see we've kind of bias to the upside. Again, we do have this area right here that's right in front of us, but clean air after that. So again, we have the picture of a potential strong dollar day, especially if there's no news. Let's jump into our gold, get a look at gold, go start from the daily. Again, gold is under pressure because of the US dollar. As long as the dollar is going strong, then you're going to see the gold usually typically pressure down as well. We are coming back down into the pressure where we got built up yesterday, the support area down here at the low. So we have to be aware of it. Kind of the same distance we have from our current candle of gold to our pivot, our floor pivot low, about the same as our distances are for our dollar. So again, pressure is down, but remember, any news item and any dollar strength can bounce this thing really quite a bit. So be careful with this one a little bit. And then we've got our 4 hour look. And you can see again, we got some a fair value gap, we got a Sherlock. So we have some headwind that we have to get through, but we're just now over on the 4 hour chart, kind of turning over. And when we see this look on the 4 hour, one of our rules in Hawkeye, if we were trading this, we'd be waiting to see that ribbon turn red, which it did. We want to make sure that our Hercules is a five or more. We need to have a fair value gap inside the stop zone, which we would. So there's a lot of criteria we can learn. And this just tells me the odds are we're moving down a little bit more. We don't know how far. We can't make that prediction. I will slow down just a bit. Sorry about that. Did not know I was talking quick, but okay. I, oh, okay. You're taking screenshots. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just let me know if I go too quick. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Again, looking at the oil or gold, you can see the pressure of just a few days ago. The dollar was really strong, but it created Sherlock. I would still say we have a chance to bounce back up into this pivot low area until a new one's created. This is a good area. You look back across history, and you can see that's a pretty good, solid price area, a 4,100 zone. But we do have some headwinds on the 1 hour to kind of drag. So it's going to probably be one of these things where it's not really just dropping like a rock. We don't know. Again, we can't make predictions. Looking at the 15-minute for our immediate, again, we have the pressure on the upside to push it down. We do have some support down here that we're going to have to break through. Now let's dive back into, we're doing this pretty quick. Let's look at oil. We are going quick. Looking at oil. Yeah, this one's a little weird. We are still we had quite the push the last 2 days with oil prices. I guess it's geopolitical. Overall, again, you can see prior to war, we were sitting this area here, just really low, and we're kind of in the higher part of that area. We just broke through supply. Supply is breaking. Let's look at this weekly just to be curious. Okay, so we had some support. We're bouncing off the support. It would not surprise me if we try to get back up into the 85 area if we really want this down. And I don't think our administration and the globe is going to really let it get back up in here unless there is more contention still in the war part. If the war, it's going to be what it's going to be. They're going to try everything they can to keep it below that 120 mark. But it wouldn't surprise me if we have pressure, political pressure that causes it to go back up here. But if everything stays somewhat calm, then my bet is this is just a pullback for a short time, and then we're moving back into a pressure or sideways motion back and forth to kind of keep it more like what these are. And those oil did not move a whole lot during these times. These are pretty good candles as compared to prior to the war. But you can see the pressure. You got Sherlock, you've got fair value gaps, all within the pressure of coming down. So yeah, we had some support here. Be aware of the support. This will be strength in the Canadian dollar if this continues to go up. If it continues to break down, then you'll see the Canadian dollar fall apart. Going into our 4 hour. And you can see again the headwinds clear. We're just breaking some of these things, and we could break them all. We don't know, but we created some more support down here. If I was trading this short term, I'd trade it to the upside. To be honest, even though there is some headwinds, I wouldn't just go market order long. I would be waiting for some pullback, like in this area here, right around the $75 mark would be a great place to go long. At that time, you're questioning whether it's going to go short. It's just the way the trading goes. 15 minute. Not a whole lot happening there except what we've already talked about. Overall, we've had a push since yesterday, or actually, yeah, since yesterday up, and no real strong. Something happened here that would have been what's that earlier this morning, I guess, some sort of news item potentially. Let's look at this just for fun. I had some people asking me what I'm doing with crypto. I'm not doing anything with crypto except holding it. I'm not so sure we're not coming further down. Again, if you're a crypto person, you believe in the system of crypto, then you're going to want to look at crypto in a different kind of light in regards to accumulation opportunities. Um, uh, this is an accumulation opportunity if you want to load up. If you're looking for it to be a quick wealth builder, this is not an income generator right now at all. So yeah, even your altcoins are a little bit off. So all right, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put that euro yen back up. And let's take a dive into each one. Look at our radar again. Look at all those trades we took on the euro yen over the time. Yeah, that was yesterday as well. Yeah, so here we go. We got 7-1 on the Aussie US with the US dollar being strong, so that could come down. So let's look at this one real quick and see if it qualifies for what we're looking for. We have price at 7-1. We have a red ribbon. We have this. We don't have a fair value gap because it's not on here. So let me put it on here. If we do, we can go right into it. MTF is what we like. And we do. And so we measure off from here to here. That's your 16. So really, I need a little bit higher up in order to include that fair value gap. And I'm going to come in here and we'll do that just like that. Make this small. And I've got my 15. I don't need my 240 daily and weekly on this. And I'm really good to go with this. So let's click it and see what we got. So here's our 60. And so we have to have our fair value gap within our stop. And notice our 60 would be close. Yeah, we could take this one, Trey. Let's see if we got air to the bottom. And we do. So we're going to go ahead and put a sell. Dang it, it did it again. Oh, I hate this thing. I've got to get it off of the one click because we've been doing a testing. So I'm in right here. And so what we do is we mark this up, pull this back to our 14 mark so we can see a visual of what it looks like. Pull this into the 17.5 mark for our full target. Squish and squash if it lets me do it. It won't let me do it. So I'm going to slide this over so it lets me do it. And quickly, I want to make sure I at least get my stop in. That's really a good placement for a stop, by the way. We're sitting at 6. So what I would like to do is when I'm taking the trade, once I'm in the trade, put myself some notes here. There's no rush to jump in. So we could call this a Hawkeye trade. And what I like to do is put what caused me to get into it. So price below both lines. Ribbon red. Hercules was 6 at entry. Fair value gap within stop zone. We have a small opposing 15-minute fair value gap ahead. Clean air to 10, opposing air for full. So we've got all of our notes right here, and then we can add whatever we want. And what the cool thing is when we get done with this, we can evaluate how the trade actually worked. If it didn't, we can say, okay, now again, we're not making predictions here. There's no way to make predictions here. But is there something that I could have done better? Or what is there something that I did not notice that I should have noticed? So what we want to do is first and foremost, go ahead and mark our 10, get that set. So notice we got clean air except for that one opposing. So we're just right at the 69.08. So I like to come in here, put a 69.08 line as my target. Now, remember our rule states if it touches or crosses, we can manually get out if we haven't got it done. And I'm going to set this up any which way, the 10 pip target, just in case it gets down there faster than I can get situated. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to measure out one more time because that's the important part. And remember, we're looking for 62% of the time of us getting to this 10 pip mark. And that's sizable profit. That's going to be right above that low. That's sizable profit over the long haul. Okay. It doesn't seem like a lot. We just need 62%. So when we get this bad feeling, man, we got 3 trades in a row wrong, don't, because you could very well get the next 4 right. So it's long-term thinking and we just let it go. So while we're sitting here, I'm going to do, remember our rule says we take 25% off. So that's a little over 4,000. I am going to put a take profit right at my line and I'm going to adjust. I'm going to modify it and I'm going to make this one a 4,000. I'm going to make this one 8,000. It's not quite, it's not quite 25%, but it's pretty close. And for demo purposes, it works. And then I'm going to confirm. And then I'm going to put this stop right where the other one's at, as close as possible. That's close enough, and I'm going to let that sit just like that. It doesn't ask for confirmation, and we just let it go. Now what that does for us is we can go and look at some other opportunities and keep an eye on this. We always want to keep an eye on as we're tracking through and we're doing our testing on trades and we take our notes on our chart. I like to see what each candle is doing every 15 minutes. So we've got a little bit of time here. We actually got about 12 minutes before our candle closes, so we can look at some other opportunities. I'm not seeing anything that I'm just going, yes. Now, we could look at the US yen. The problem with the US yen right now is that's why I've got a Hawkeye talent on it. So am I in my Hawkeye talent or am I in my Tide Fusion? I've got this Hawkeye talent on here. Okay, so I need to take that off because that is the new tool and that is not going to work here. So let's go ahead and jump this up and get our Tide Fusion and our Sherlock in place and make sure that it's all set properly. Kind of gives us a better look at what's happening. Boom. Okay, so we got, yeah, okay. Tide Fusion still loading. I don't want the HUD, although I could have the overhead display if I want to. I don't want it. And we're using just default settings currently for this. So let's see if there's anything else I want to make sure I take off. Al has some different numbers that he uses, so you're going to see a little bit different look on his. Okay, so we talked about this yesterday. Nothing wrong with this trade, by the way. We have price above. Let's put our fair market gaps on here too, because I didn't do that. We like this MTF FGG, so just so you guys know. And we're going to do something pretty incredible later on that you're really going to like. So keep up with what's going on because you guys who are day trading with us are going to like what you're going to see. You're going to really like it. So here, let's talk about this trade. Okay, so we're sitting at a 5. It qualifies Hercules wise. So what would disqualify this trade? Well, we have price above both the levels. Nothing wrong with that. We have a green ribbon. We're coming out of support. Now, the difference with this is if you notice, if we decided to jump in right now, we have a fair value gap within our stop, and it could work out. Don't get me wrong. Here's the problem. We have a pivot high right ahead of us, and that is less than 10 pips away, number one. So we got to pay attention to pivot high. We also have that value gap right there where we're at. We have another one right here, and that's not even 10 yet. So you have two of those, followed by a 60-minute stack on a 15-minute stack, followed by another 15 inside of a Sherlock. That's why we don't go. So that's a very good reason why not to go. Now, we do want to go back and see how fresh this is. Now, if you notice, we've been all the way up to here before. So that's still not clean air for a take of a trade. So yes, everything lines up. Yes, we had the strength going on. Everything was perfect, except you have to know what's ahead of you. And remember, we talked about the dollar. This was highly tied to the dollar, so we could bust through that. It's a potential. So as we're doing our radar, we can look at the pound US. Again, we want to be very, very careful not to get too many trades going on at one time with the US dollar, because if you look at the Aussie US and you look at the pound US, they are structured identically the same right now, other than a little bit of demand down here. So let's blow this up real quick. That's not demand, that's my screen. So if you look at the structure here, let's see if it'll let me squish and squash. There we go. That's what I want. That way it doesn't take over got my notes here. We haven't had a close yet, so there's nothing happening really. We're still to 7-1. Remember, we were to 7-1 when we started. So after the candle, it seems real slow. When we're testing really quick. So we're making notes all the time. So plenty of time to take notes on your charts. And then you can go back to your spreadsheet and write your notes down. But if you notice that structure and this structure are the same. And so let's talk about this. Why would we get in? Why would we not get out? Let's go ahead and put our um, fair market value gap where MTV, there we go, onto the chart. Let's set it up so it looks like all the other ones. Put our label it up. We don't need all the higher time frame ones. That's beyond our need. And we click it on and we go. So what do we have here? A great trade. Other than, and again, the only reason I'm not taking this is because I'm already in one. Now, I will tell you this, in my experience so far, the longer I go in the morning, the less reliable the Aussie US becomes. And this is a little bit more reliable. So for testing purposes, we're going to go ahead and look and see what we got. We have our entry price and we have a fair value gap right inside of it. Do we have clean air? We have clean air. So prices below both lines. Red ribbon's good. We have nothing opposing. I will put my trade in now. It's going to do it right away. Boom. We're going to go right there. Now, understand, I'm in two correlated similar trades right now, but we have to make our notes. So let me go ahead and put my short here, right here. Now, the odds are if this trade works out, it's going to work out for both of them. So that's why they're correlated. We got to be very, very careful. We'll leave that one alone. Pull that one down to set. This one looks a little cleaner in regards to clean air and things like that. We don't have it opposing 15. The only thing I'm worried about is that pivot, but that's the full stop there. So let's go ahead and take our notes to let us know what we did. So trade, trade. We can go in price below both lines, ribbon red. Now these were not designed this way, by the way. We're using Tide Fusion, not the way it was supposed to be. 15, we can say fair value gap. Fair value gap within stop. No opposing fair value gaps to 10 pips. So that's clean air. Hercules was 5 at entry. Notice we're not there now. Um, yeah, I think that's a good place to start. And we go in here and now we can move our stop here. Probably should have done that first, by the way. We're going to move our target, full target, all the way down to that. And we're going to check that very, very carefully to make sure we're at that 17.5 pip mark. Okay. And just know that at any time, these can quickly move. So we want to be as precise with our numbers as possible. We're right on spot. So let's go ahead and measure out from our entry 10 pips. That's going to be 33.29.2, 33.29.2, 33.29.2. Let's get that set first. Coordinates 33.29 and 2. 32, 92, 33, 29, and 2. Text, we're going to put 10 pip stop. 10 pips, 10 pip target, I should say. Slide that into our chart like so. And then we can now build our more automated system. So we have about 16. Same thing as last time. We're going to pull our target here. We're going to put that right there. Modify. We're going to put an easy, again, I'm not doing on my live account, I would do the actual calculation, but for speed's sake, I'm going to make this, that's going to be a 4. Did I do that wrong on the other one? I'll have to check. So 4, that's going to be 12,000. Yeah, I think I did the other one wrong. We'll go back and fix it. We're going to end up with some extras. So confirm, confirm. So these should equal proper numbers. These two should equal that one. And then we move our stop. Again, another good stop. Doesn't mean it's going to work out, but it is a good location. And there we go. So we're confirmed on this one as well. And we're seeing it squish a little bit. And not abnormal, by the way. Let's go ahead and squish and squash, get it back to normal. We got our notes down. We're 7-1 over here, so that should be working out at some point. But again, look at the time of day. We don't have as much volume at this time. And now we're in 2 trades. We cannot do anything else other than monitor in a live account. In this account, we can do whatever we want without chasing. So let's make sure our ads up. Yeah, I'm off. So I'm going to need to make this 4,000 more. This should be 12, like so. And voila. And now we're all set. So we really don't have to do a whole lot other than wait at this point. And we could be waiting for hours. So yesterday's trades were not quick in the morning. They took quite a bit of time. So let me check and see if I've got anybody writing news in our chats in our other room. No, we're good in the other room. I see we got Jonathan in the room. I don't know where the other 2 characters are. It's 6:30 in the morning. They must be sleeping today. And that's okay, I guess, if you want to sleep. Um, been up quite a bit. I've been up since about 3 this morning, so kind of fun. Been testing and testing and testing. Part of the game. So let me check chat box over here. I see my friend has put a chat in there. I didn't put a notification. You're right. My bad. Let me see. I don't even know if I have that up. My horrible, horrible, horrible. My bad. Yeah, you are right. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna put it over here. Hawkeye's been open. Hawkeye has been open for about 30 minutes now. My bad. Yeah, I got too busy doing testing this morning. I almost ran out of time to do the weather, if that makes even sense. Yeah. And since you're currently the only one in the room, let me show you what we've got. Developed a tool called Hawkeye Talon. Pretty massive tool. You'll see that it's an all-inclusive. I built, I can't say it's Tide Fusion because it's not. Some of the foundations of Tide Fusion are built in here. Fair value gap is embedded inside already. I took the best parts of Sherlock, tweaked it for a 1 hour and lower, and did some massive data updates on Sherlock. So that's embedded in this as well. And all that to say, we have what we call money bags coming in. And these all worked, by the way, yesterday. That was a test. Every last one of them worked. One of the problems we're coming up is um, TradingView does not always recognize major news. So when we see the major news like this yellow line, it announced it, but this one didn't. So we were in a trade and had no idea that news was coming. We have some real tested rules that we do not trade during that time. So we ended up taking a loss here where we shouldn't have taken a loss. We should have been out here and we would have been break even. So it was a little bit of a messy day yesterday. So we're trying to find a solution. Now, trading view is going to be a little bit hard, but in the MT5 platform, when we translate this over, we can actually embed Forex Factory or something like that inside of MT5 to restrict us from getting any notifications inside news. So that's what we've been working on. Right now, it's just kind of putting up with the nonsense and not knowing what's coming because I'm not going to go all the way back to January and check news. So yeah, very nice. It's a nice tool. And it's very mechanical. And so you're seeing me take notes on the screen just like I'm doing in the real testing, um, because that's important. That's important. All right, guys, let me do this because I do not like trading without some sort of music. I don't like it loud, but I like to yeah. I forgot. I was too busy testing and I thought Al would be here already. It's that's on me. I've already been called a slacker, so don't do it anymore. Okay, so let me do this. We've done the weather. Let me step away just for a moment, get a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. Just a little surprised the old man hadn't shown up yet. That means he must be tired, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's on vacation too. And I mean, man, we've been testing, and he was on all day long. And I don't know how much he worked actually yesterday inside the room, but his he was we were sharing all day long. Okay, we had a close of a candle. So what I like to do, and this is good practice, I like to come back into the trades that we're sitting in. And I used to take pictures. Now, I don't know if you guys know, recognize to do this for your own trading tracking. You have the ability to take a screenshot with this little camera. I don't know if anybody has ever brought that to you. And you can copy a link. So, for instance, if I want to take a screenshot of this to show somebody, I can get a link by copying the link. I can send the link to them and they'll have an access to the actual picture. Or you can download. So, um, what I would come in here and potentially do is I would say I entered this. I should have probably played enter time. Entered at 6:18 a.m. And then I would come in at 6:30 a.m. close. Hercules still 6 in my favor. And I just keep that. That way I'm keeping our notes all the way through the trade. And I'll put hit 10 pip target, what time it hit it. Because what we're also trying to calculate in the whole midst of everything in our testing and tracking is how long is it normally the average trade taking to be profitable? Because that gives us a guideline of how long do we need to stay in a trade. I mean, if it's going an hour and a half, 2 hours, and majority of the times it goes an hour and a half, 2 hours, is profitable, great. But if we find that after 2 hours of being in a trade, most of them don't work out, then we need to find an exit strategy. Does that make sense to everybody? Put a yes or open your mic. Either way, I don't care at this point. And we'll make sure that makes sense to everybody.
Yep, understood.
Cool. Just for your own sanity, it looks like we're going to get out of this and be ready. I need to get prepped for this. So it's going to do it before, and I'm going to be missing my 7 pips. So I come in 7. 69.11. So I'm going to come in here, get this little target. Clone. Almost perfect. That was guessed. That's just a cloning. So bring it down just a tad. 1, 2, 3. Measure off again. Just to make sure it's 7 pips. We want to get the maximum we can get. $69, 11, 3. So I'm gonna come in here. 69, 11, 3. Text 7 pip stop. 7 pip stop. Now the hard thing is when you have a pair just like we've got going on now, it's there. I could close this out manually. Al would. So now it's out. I am now going to move my stop to here. And in my notes, I would tell the time. But I've got to go check the other one because I have a feeling I don't have to worry about this one at this point. I have a feeling the other one's gonna be close to it too if it's not already. So we've got to, I hate when I do that. We've got to prepare this one as well. Yeah, we're at the same spot. Remember what I told you guys, when this happens and they're correlated like this, then you already kind of get a good gauge of what's coming. Copy, clone, bring it down to 7. I'm guessing this is my 7. I'm going to blow it up. These are highly correlated in regards to how they move. So I'm going to move this down just a bit. And it may or may not. We're at a 2 on this one. This is one of those ones that it got real close to the target. I would probably manually close it out just out of norm. I got the wrong here. So 7 pip target. 7 pip stop, actually. At this point, I can get in here and play. I'm watching it now, though, because I'm not so sure this is going to bust through. And the last thing you want to see is it come right here, come all the way back. You really don't want to do that, but it may do it. We didn't quite get close. We have not touched, and we have not crossed. So we're just kind of waiting. Al would be waiting on pins and needles for this. And we found out a lot about Al and his trading and how emotional he actually is tied to winning. And you don't realize it until you're put to like this. In the past, he would have said, well, I just don't want to see it bounce back up. Well, it didn't reach your target. So you're kind of really blowing your own trade plan away when you say, when it reaches 10, move to 7. Well, if it never reaches 10 and you're already moving it to 7, then you're really kind of blowing up your own stats. My bet is my other one may have stopped out at 7 at this point, depending on where, in this case, this is a 5. I don't know where the Aussie's at currently. But we're going to watch this one until we're out. And that means we got 2 trades for the day, both about a 0.5%. So a total of 1%. If 1% was your goal for the day, then you're gone. You walk away. And then you could very well make sure you have a plan. I mean, your plan is if it gets stopped out at 7, it's still going to be a 0.5%. So if by chance both of them hit your full mark, then you're talking about a 2.25%, 2.5% return for the day. And there's your bounce. But again, I'm not worried about it. What I need to do is, so I don't have to watch this, put my alert here. That way I can do that own thing there, because these are already going to be, it just tells me to be setting it when it does. Let's see what we got over here. We're still in the trade. And we have found also, just so you guys know, we have found that if we can, oh, we're so close. If we can hang on one candle, usually you'll make it to your 17 and you won't get stopped out. It's the first candle. So we are doing some major analysis to see, is it wise to move your stop to 7 right away? So far, it looks like it is, because a lot of them turn against you at 10 pips, strangely enough. But we're going to let the stats tell us. But we're coming up, and watch what the price action is here, guys. The price action is going down into a 60. It's just respecting the 60 right now. I'm not saying that the 60, if the 60 is isolated by itself, I don't mind taking the trade. Al won't, but I don't mind. But when it's stacked like this, if this was going to our 10 pip, I wouldn't do it because it's stacked. It's going to bounce. But we can let that one go. We've already hit our 10 pip target there. We'll be notified here in a moment of everything. So 7-2, it's the other pairs that are getting us right now because the dollar is still strong. And we talked about that this morning with the Dixie. We had room to the upside. Deb, spreadsheet question. Oh, yeah. Y'all communicate. And there's really nothing, excuse me, there's really nothing we can do. Now, if you notice, the US CAD is really, really looking nice. But just be aware that it's got headwinds and walls. And this is a great example, guys, of even though it looks nice right now, let's talk about our rules. Okay, let's get the fair piece up here because that's one piece I haven't put on here yet. We'll set that up first, making sure it's like everything else. So let's talk about why we wouldn't get into this one. Well, we do have the fair value gaps below where our entry, but it's maybe too far. Notice how it's respecting a 60 that's stacked on a 15. Remember I told you guys about a stack? We have no green ribbon yet. It has not closed above the 2 lines yet. So we have to have a close above the both lines, and we have to have a close with a green ribbon, number 1. Then we have to, now if the price comes back in here, then we have to measure out how far did it go. So let's just say it came to here. Is this 10 pips? Just that wick alone is 10 pips. That's perfect because that Sherlock zone is gone. Okay. But it's now moving back up in there. So now you're getting back too close again. So this one's not ready to go. Even though we're now at 7-1, by the way. It looks like we're having a major move on the other pairs. I should have been out of this. Let's see. Why am I not out? Yeah, I'm out of it. It should be. Did I not move my stop down all the way? I didn't. Now that was an error on my part. Well, that kind of stuff. I've made a mistake on my trading platform. Those things happen. and close that out for a little bit of profit. It didn't do my stop right. So very, very strange. Great trade, by the way. Error on my part. Great trade. Now let's look at this one, see what's happening with it. Dollar still strong. Dollar still strong. Across the board, dollar strong. But our big spread right now is that Canadian dollar. So we'll look at that one here in a moment. Let's look and see what we had here. That was a big move, by the way. Did we have news today on this at this time of day? Kind of weird. 6:30 news. Let's see what we got. 6:30. Yeah, we did. German people. There's your excuse. And look how it moved. Even a yellow. But when people speak, pay attention. When people speak, pay attention. Now, my bet is it's still going to come on down. But hey, let's go the Canadian dollar because that looked like it was poised to be ready to roll. We're at the 645 mark. This is a good trade if we can get the measurements in here. And I may take it anyway if we're close. Maybe a little late. I'm going to wait just a tad. So where can I go in? Let's do this. Where can I get in? Right there. So I'm going to come in here and put a buy right here. And then I'm going to put my measurement of 14 until something changes. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Take my stop, put it right there. Okay, so I'm protected there. And what I like to do with this one is to just come in here since I'm not in it yet and just set my thing up. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind to get up to the major target, but we'll see how it plays out. We're not in the trade yet, so it's okay. There we go. That's our trade. Just get this and slide it real tiny. And when it hits, we're ready to roll. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But that's the earliest we can get in. So I would come in and I would call this a discretionary trade. Retracement back to entry. Fair value gap within 1, 2, 2 FVG within stop area. Clean air to 10 pips. That's basically all we got. Clean air to 10 pips. We'll check Hercules needs be 4 or more. And look who decided to show up.
Yeah, I overslept today.
You think?
Yeah. I was going to get up early, and the next thing I know it was late. So I don't know. Don't know what happened.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
But
I mean, we've already had two trades.
I thought it was 7:30.
Was what?
You had two trades already?
Oh, absolutely. We had the Aussie US, and I messed this one up, but everything worked out well. I just didn't drag my stop all the way down, thought I did. So we hit our 10 pips, and then it moved up. But we had news here of speaking. So we talked about, we didn't have any red folder, but when anybody speaks, it changes everything, especially knowing that last night the Kiwi increased their interest rate. So everybody is very, very cautious right now.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, so interesting lesson today. We're still in a trade. We're going to get these. I can take my screenshot here.
It was the US, huh?
There we go. So let me do it this way. Let's see if this works well. Take this copy. And I totally forgot to announce it on Telegram because I assumed you were going to come in.
That's a false assumption, isn't it?
What's that?
That was a false assumption.
Yeah, I just thought you'd come in and remind me to do. And so, guys, if you look in the Telegram, I took a link shot of the image, and so you can see everything that we did. It tells everything on the trade. So you can do that anytime that you are trading. So I can now clear this noise off.
Well, my apologies for oversleeping today.
I think it's completely unacceptable. I'm up here testing. I'm up here lighting my light up and my room up and trying to get things done. And
I get a little sloppy when I know that you're covering for me.
Well, don't get used to it because I won't be here for long.
The master's at work.
Yeah, I won't be here. It does look like the kids are moving in.
Well,
and we're thankful and not at the same time.
Yeah. It's always nice to have
a safe
the kids
place
around.
to come.
I always said when my kids graduated, they said, I will be your safety net. I'm not going to be your support, but I will be your safety net.
Absolutely. And we're doing that. So let's look again at our Canadian. That seems to be our best one. And really, guys, this is the best trade that we could have, a discretionary trade on the pullback. We're going into a window of a 60, 15, 15 and a Sherlock. That's a very, very big window to be jumping in right now. If by chance it does pull back to our blue line, we have an entry set already. That will give us at least clean air to the 10. And then we'll see how it struggles through the rest of it. And I would love for it to get up to that 60 and wipe it out and then pull back at that point. So we've already cleared off this Sherlock. So this is we're still waiting on this one. Let's go back to our open trade that we're still kind of hanging on to. Again, we cannot pay attention to all news. We can't get out of every trade when all news comes in. We definitely want to pay attention to our orange and red folders. And in our day and time right now, anytime somebody speaks, it's kind of important. But as you can see, this would have been a perfect example of what the trades that Al absolutely hates. And we've learned that we have to have a rule-based strategy. He would have been, had he seen this, can't do that. Had he seen this right here, he would have manually closed that out in the past because he doesn't like the feeling he gets when he sees it go against him. But we found statistically that's not the best way to trade. That's emotional. So we made a compromise. And the compromise is if we see it touch or cross, then we can manually take it off. Now, understand, if we cross, it should take us out if our spread's not crazy. And the reason we said we can take it off of the position is because if our spread's like the euro yen, we have to go up a pip away below this. So in essence, if we're getting out early, we're actually taking 9 pips instead of 10, and therefore that is just ruining our statistics. We feel better, but over the long haul, it proves to be an effective way of trading. So we have a rule that if it touches, and when we say touches or crosses, blow it up big, because you can see we didn't touch it, we didn't cross it. And that gives us pause. And we're still watching. I mean, this thing is still kind of grinding down 7.5. Now, remember when we got it that would have been the time that today's 7. This is the 7:45 candle. We got it around 7. We got it in the 7:30, 7:15. So this is about 7:20. I'm gonna put it in about 7:20 here. That way it's 7:20 a.m. And that way Hercules is at 5 at let's call it 6:40. Call it 6:45. 6:45 a.m. Hercules at 2. Still favorable. And that gives us a way of tracking what we see in time. Nothing more than when you put it on your spreadsheet and then you analyze it. Because really, you're not going to know. You're not going to remember this trade tomorrow. Take a screenshot, copy the link into your spreadsheet, and it's always there. And I don't know if this one's going to work or not. This one seems to be, I don't know what he's saying that's causing such a problem. Because he's still talking, so that tells you everything. Panel, our economy is uncertain times. That's always a great
summer going on too right now. What summer? There's a summit of some sort going on right now.
A summit?
Yeah, there's I think Trump is over in Turkey. It was in Turkey yesterday, but there's some world meeting someplace. I didn't quite catch everything.
It must not be anything major in the morning. But that may be something later on that they're going to put in here. We do have FOMC meeting minutes. That's going to be brutal today. That's going to be the one that moves everything. This will determine if, when they bring out the minutes, if you watch that video, if they bring out the minutes and you dig into the minutes, it's going to tell you the biases of the people who make the voting. Were they full confidence on, full confidence off, hawkish, dovish, that type of thing. And that will really move, that will support whatever direction they want it to go. So right now, the dollar's strong. So it tells me most likely they feel the dollar's still strong. But if the minutes come in dovish behind that strength, the dollar will pull back. It'll be a fun day.
If they miss it, it'll pull back. If they hit it, it'll pull back because they already projected it.
Not necessarily. If they projected, what it will do is just continue on.
Uh-huh.
So if the dollar strength is real, like it is showing here, and those minutes come out and it backs the strength, it's already kind of priced in. It will wiggle a little bit, but it'll continue the trend that it's on. If they were really, because the trend is up. I mean, if you look at it overall, the trend is up. And if they believe in that trend that everything's good, then you'll see it'll continue all the way up through here. That's a big move, by the way.
That would be a big move.
So I don't think we're going to reach up to peaks today, but if you notice, today is starting strong. So like you said, the FOMC's already been printed.
Right.
So we know the direction everybody responded to. We just don't know how committed they are to it. Today is the commitment time. If they are committed, then this thing's going to take off some more. If they're uncommitted, it's going to waver because it's at a high. It's extended. Yeah, and that's not a prediction. That's just normal. Now everybody knows what everybody's thinking because they vote. Nobody knows anything about what they're thinking, which is sad, but that's how they run the system. So no trades on the radar when you look at it other than our potential pullback to our Canadian dollar. Let's take a look at that. Am I already? Oh, I got to put my pound US back on so I can at least track it. Go back to Canadian. Yeah, and I don't see us pulling back to this area anytime soon. We'll see. I think we're going to dig up into here. I think these are going to be gone. We're going to create some other opportunities inside. Notice our ribbon. If this candle closes in 2 minutes, we have a green. Okay, but we have no entry yet. We can't enter with all these stacks here. We have a setup. We just don't have an entry. And my bet is we're probably going to have a gap in here somewhere. I don't understand how they're created. Al does. But I don't care how they're created. I just know that they are a good piece to pay attention to. So we have a discretionary trade already set up, and we'll have to reevaluate that at the top of the hour. Right now, we're still sitting at 5, which is a good thing. I just don't think it's going to be a 5 when it pulls back. So we have to reevaluate Hercules based on that. Take a look at oil while we're sitting here looking at that, and that'll tell us something. So oil's bouncing. That's why the Canadian dollar is fluctuating the way it is. It doesn't know what to do. The dollar is extremely strong. Gold is weakening on the dollar strength, as expected. And then again, our dollar's plowing through this wick right now. And as long as it's plowing through, it doesn't matter what oil's doing, it's going to plow through. We'll just be prepared for this one. Let's take a look at our pound. Pound US may end up still working out after a little headache of news. It's kind of poised to do what it's supposed to do. Let's go to our 15-minute chart and get a better look. Instead of a daily. Yeah. We're close. Now we're back down to that area where Al loves to be. Where is it going to touch? What's it going to do when it gets down there? And this is the most fun one right now. This one's actually just telling you how strong the dollar is because a 7.5 move doesn't normally move like this.
Well, see where it's the dollar is just flatlined at the 7.
Right. It's extremely strong. Usually you don't get a downward push like this with a 2 spread. So it's far beyond the strength of the pound, even though it's pegged at 7. So again, this is that thing we were just talking about where the dollar is poised to go up. FOMC structured it to go up, and the hint is that the minutes are going to back it up, which means the stock market could be coming down today. Isn't that wonderful? Now, again, we're tracking a little bit of how long we're going to be in this trade. Right now, we've been in it 15 minutes, 30 minutes, a 45-minute trade so far. Ish. Give or take. You just wait. We had to close the candle, and we're still at 2. So I'll put at 7 a.m. No, it was 6 a.m. 7 a.m. Hercules still. Ooh, this would be 6:20, not 7:20. I did Eastern time, not. Here we go. Ooh. Here we go. So I made a mistake, Al.
No way.
Oh, absolutely. It was a platform mistake. So we hit our 10 pip target. I moved the stop down, I thought, and it never took me out. So I had to manually get out up here for a loss. So what would have been a 10.7 turned out to be a 10 and barely a loss on the back end. So we had to pay attention to that for sure.
Here's the question: what happened? Did you just not confirm the move?
It showed confirmed. It showed confirmed. But that doesn't mean anything. I don't like when I click here that it immediately takes the trade. So I need to turn off the one click.
Yeah,
thing.
you turn off that one click.
But I don't know how.
Right click where you are. Settings. Trade. Up top says one click trade. Apply to all. You want to apply to all.
Yeah, apply to all. Saw that as soon as I clicked through.
Now, when you apply to all, everything you got there is going to go to all. So if you have anything set up differently, then there's all your templates, all your charts will do the same thing. Well, on that tab. So you only have one. You're probably okay.
Yeah, it's a demo. I'm not worried.
But you didn't take but you hit confirmed and it didn't set.
Yeah,
was it real fast? Because I find in trading view has been working real slow when I make changes.
Well, it wasn't fast. I mean, we sat here and watched. I went to another pair, looked at that, set that up, came back, and I was talking to them about, hey, if we can close below this candle, if this candle can hold on and not tap me out in the candle, we found that it normally works out to the long side. And I went and did some other things, came back in, and the candle was red down here. And then all of a sudden it shot up. And I thought, ooh, something happened. I went back on this account and boom, didn't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, here's my short, but where's my arrow telling me where I got out? This is my other pair. This is the wrong pair. It's Pan US. I'm not out, by the way. Now we're 7.6. So now we're getting that one movement. So we could be going flat here for a bit.
Yeah, but the dollar's still strong, even though it's on a pullback. The dollar's still showing the 7.
I'm not too worried yet. 7.5, 7.2, but we're into a wall. We don't want to trade with a wall. Waiting on a pullback here. We're getting the pullback. We got 7.0 on the Canadian dollar. Boy, would I love a pullback right now all the way to my entry. That would be fantastic. 5.3, 5.2, 7.4, 6.4 on our 8s. I don't even look at my other ones right now. Al, you want to take over so I can do testing, and I'll keep you guys updated on my Pound US.
Give me just a minute here, and I will.
And you are, dang, you're a slacker today.
I am. It's summertime, and that's just the way it's going to have to be.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to learn from the best how to slack.
There you go. You need some practice with that. That's for sure.
I do. Well, yeah, I do. I had a rough day yesterday. Trying to prepare this vacation for Kim without her knowing where we're going and all this stuff, and completely surprising her.
So she
And
doesn't know where you're going yet?
she has no idea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she has no idea. So this trade's probably not going to work out, by the way. We had a flip of Hercules. So let's put that in my notes.
Yeah.
So I went through all the paperwork yesterday of Hercules. That's 705.
Okay, I'll take over here.
Yeah. Stop my share.
Allow, screen,
There you go.
share. There you go. Yeah,
And so
I'm
I
looking
had
at
to
the
read all my
Hercules.
paperwork yesterday, and there were some things I didn't know I had to do. So we're scrambling a little bit.
Does she know you're going anywhere?
She knows we're going because I had to get her a passport.
Okay.
She just doesn't know where we're going.
I see.
So
She knows not to,
Pound is really pushing.
but she knows not to take winter clothes.
Correct. She knows generally it's going to be warm.
Okay. Well, basically, you should be seeing my screen right now. You should be seeing Hercules. I just have a little copy now with that, and you can see where now the dollar did seem to back off a little bit. It was showing sevens all the way around, and now it's pulled back considerably here in the last few minutes, which is interesting because it was dollar strong and Canadian and Swiss weak all the way across.
Canadian dollar, I'm sitting on it right now. It could trigger at a 5.
And I'm looking over here at my log if there's anything that happened overnight. Euro US at 5.15. Let's just take a look at that. Just to make sure I'm in the right template here. Page 1. Well, let's just go to page 1 here. Let's just see, take a look at all my charts and see what I got.
All right, I'm gonna be testing now again, Al. So
Okay.
if you need me,
All right.
holler.
I will. I always need you there, Brian.
Always.
Just take a little quick scan and just see what we've got here. We've got some sixes on the Aussie, 6.3, still not enough. 6.5 on the British US, 6.3 on the British yen. US yen 5.3, 5.0. US CAD, US CAD's got some interesting, but look, you can also see is we've got some gaps down below. We did have the close above. We do have the spread. We have the 6-1 spread on this candle right here on the close. And we do have some gaps down below, so that's all good. Now the question is, would we have enough room? You can see where it came on up to. We've got some heavy gap areas up here.
This is that one that I pre-set up with a limit order.
But we were going to take this thing long. Right now, this would have been the close above the dots, close above the ribbon. We don't have a green ribbon yet. Right about there, we have the green ribbon. That would be right about this area. And we have a 6.2. I want the 1. It'd be nice if we could figure out how to get these horizontal lines at the 5 and the 1 in the template, so I don't have to keep on drawing them. Haven't quite figured out. Well, may have to work on that one a little bit. But right here on this candle right here, we had the crosser. When that candle closed, we had the green ribbon. So I'm going to use this as my reference. And you can see where the 10 pips is right up here into this fresh and non-fresh. This is not fresh. This is a fresh gap area. If it pulls back to this area and we still can maintain our strength, this could be a possible trade. Right now we have a 5.0, so the 5-point spread. They're both pointing down right now, so this looks like it's on a little bit of a pullback. And time of day is at 7:45. This is 8 o'clock candle open.
So anyway, at least at the time of the retraction of the story, in fact, not fast enough.
We'd have to go through 1, 2, 3 gas before it would stop us out. If we did a buy order right in here,
continues to play out exactly as they are intending it to. We are all getting played. It is important you understand this. This is why full court press, every Democrat now, or Democrat associate, I guess, is
this would be a buy limit.
plus. Even though just a week ago they were defending it. And